students, welcome to Prodigy Edu Classes. Today we will be studying cell membrane. We will be doing two videos on cell membrane. In one we will cover the structure. In this video we will know what is the cell membrane, what is its composition, its structure, and we will discuss the various models of the cell membrane. In the next video we will be discussing how the cell membrane functions. In order to understand this, you need to have a basic knowledge of cell as to what a cell is, what a eukaryotic cell is, what are its structures, cell wall, cell membrane and cell organelles. A very basic knowledge as to how the things look and how they are. Okay, so to begin with cell membrane, the first thing that you need to know is the cell is like a big room. Now it has all different components, the nucleus, the various cell organelles like Golgi body, mitochondria within them. But the cytoplasm, which is the major substance, is composed of water. The major constituent of the cytoplasm is water. And outside the cell, if you look, the intercellular matrix, this is also composed majorly of water. So there are a lot of substances, be it nutrients, be it hormones, be it any toxic substance, all of them are present, some are inside, some are outside. So the motive of cell membrane is to create a barrier between the environment within the cell and the environment outside the cell. Now how do we do that? How do we ensure that a barrier is created between outside and inside, and also it allows the necessary substances to pass across it so as to ensure the complete functioning of the cell. So as we begin to look at it, we will find that in a cell membrane you need to know a few terms. Number one is it is dynamic. The cell membrane is dynamic. Number two, it is quasi-fluid. Number three, it is semi-permeable. Now what do I mean when I say dynamic? When I say dynamic, I mean that the cell membrane is continuously undergoing addition and subtraction from its structure with the functioning of the cell. So it is not like if this cell membrane is present over here right now, after some time this membrane may not be present over here. The composition, the constituents of cell membrane present here right now may be located somewhere else on the cell membrane or in the other membranes of the cell after some time. So that is why it is dynamic. Number two is it is quasi-fluid in nature. What does quasi-fluid mean? Means it is like fluid, but it behaves like a fluid but is not exactly a fluid. We will deal with it. You will get to understand this term better as we discuss the structure of the cell membrane. And what do we mean by semi-permeable? By semi-permeable we mean that it allows some substances to pass across it and it does not allow other substances to pass. Okay, a better term here would be to say that the cell membrane is selectively permeable. Okay. As you will find in your textbooks, the cell membrane was discovered by Nageli and Kramer, two scientists, Nageli and Kramer. And it was also named as plasma lemma by Plowey in 1931. Okay. So next we'll come to the composition of the cell membrane. If you look at the composition of the cell membrane, you'll find that it is composed of lipids, proteins and carbohydrates. Okay, lipids, proteins and carbohydrates. Now, what about the different lipids? You'll find that lipids are about 20 to 80% in their constituent. Proteins also vary between 20% and 70% depending on the cell membrane. And if carbohydrates are only present about 1 to 8% in the cell membranes. Okay, so if you look at the lipids, Lipids are mainly of two types. One, you will find phospholipids and you will find complex or derived lipid. You will find derived lipids like cholesterol. But the major component is phospholipid. If you look a bit at the schematic representation of a phospholipid, you will find that the phospholipid has a globular head and has two tails. It's a globular head and two tails. This globular head of the phospholipid, it is hydrophilic. Hydrophilic means it is stable in water. Philia means love, hydro is water. So hydrophilic means it is stable in water. Whereas the tails, these are the two tails, the tails are hydrophobic. The head of the phospholipid is hydrophilic and the tails are hydrophobic. Thus, a phospholipid molecule is what you call a amphipathic molecule. Amphipathic molecule. As you all know, amphibians are living beings which survive both in the land and water. Okay, so amphi means it has two properties. It is both hydrophilic and hydrophobic, and pathic means it is stable in both water and outside water. Okay. You don't really need to know a lot about cholesterol. This is present in scanty amounts. Okay, this is present in very scanty amounts in the cell membrane. Now next you will have to come to proteins. If you look at proteins, proteins in the cell membrane may be of two types. They may be peripheral proteins and they may be integral proteins. We'll come to the further details later on. Carbohydrates are present in the form of oligosaccharides. Carbohydrates are present in the form of oligosaccharides. Oligosaccharides are formed of 3 to 10 monosaccharide units. Monosaccharide is a structural unit of carbohydrate. So, a oligosaccharide is composed of 3 to 10 monosaccharide units. Now, coming to the structure of the cell membrane. You see, cell was first noted under the microscope as late as in the 18th century. So after you have looked at a cell, we are always looking at the cell under a microscope from the outside. So as and when the quality of the microscopes, the quality of staining has developed, we have got a better image of the cell membrane from time to time. So there have been various theories on the structure of the cell membrane which have evolved over the time. So if you look at the first model was put forward by Overton, and it is the lipid bilayer model. It was put forward in the year 1900. What did he mean by lipid bilayer? Overton meant to say that two layers of lipids are present in the cell membrane. This is all he could understand. Next comes the lamellar model. Put forward by Danieli and Davison in the year 1935. What did they say? They said that the cell membrane is formed of two layers of lipids which are sandwiched between two layers of proteins. He said there is one layer of protein on the outside, then there is one layer of lipid, another layer of lipid, and there is another layer of protein on the inside. This is all they could say. Next comes the third model of the cell membrane, which is the unit membrane model. The unit membrane model. Which was put forward by Robertson What did he say? He first noted that the lipids in the cell membrane are phospholipids. He also said that a cell membrane is composed of two layers of proteins with one layer of lipid in between. Now, imagine having a cell membrane on the outside. Say this is the outside and this is the inside. So in the of cell, okay, this is inside the cell and this is outside. So in the outside you have mostly water. In the inside also you have mostly water. So how do you arrange the lipids in such a way that they are stable in an ambience that is aquatic? Lipids are all non-aquatic, they are not water soluble. So you have to arrange them in such a way that they are stable in an aquatic environment. How do you do that? If I arrange the lipids side by side, you'll find that look, if I arrange the lipids side by side, look, the heads are stable because these are hydrophilic and you have H2 over here. So the heads are stable. But what about the tails? There is mostly water here, so all of the tails are unstable. So this type of structure won't occur. So the model that Robertson proposed was that it had a single intervening layer of lipids which was 35 angstrom thick, and to surround it there were proteins on the outside and there were proteins on the inside. These proteins on the outside were 20 angstrom thick in each layer. So you now have a cell membrane which had a total thickness of 75 angstrom. Now look at this cell membrane. There is water on the outside and all of the hydrophilic heads are on the outside. Similarly, there is water on the inside and there are hydrophilic heads on the inside. So the cell membrane is stable. This is all Robertson could see. After this comes the fluid mosaic model. Of Singer and Nicholson. in the year 1972. What did they say? They said that the cell membrane is composed of a lipid bilayer and proteins, where the proteins are floating like icebergs in an ocean of lipids. Now what happens when you try to express it in a diagram? So you have the two layers of lipids and you have proteins in between them. So far, people were always looking at the cell membrane from here, from the outside. So when you look at the microscope from here, you will apparently have the feeling that the proteins are probably above and the lipid is located below it. But if you look at a transverse section, you'll get to know that the lipids are there in bilayers and the proteins are embedded within the structure of the cell membrane. So you have two types of proteins, ones which are integral proteins, and you also have a type of protein which are the peripheral proteins. And you have these lipid bilayers where the phospholipids are arranged. You also have sterols present in between. These are the cholesterol. These are also lipids. These are cholesterol. So what about the carbohydrates? See, carbohydrates are also present, and they are present in the form of branched chain oligosaccharides added to the proteins and lipids. So you'll find lipids in the form of phospholipids and cholesterol, you'll find proteins as integral and peripheral proteins, and you'll have oligosaccharides, carbohydrates, in the form of glycoproteins and glycolipids. This completes the fluid mosaic model of Singer and Nichols. Okay, so here we have finished discussing the structure of the cell membrane. In the next video, you'll get to see how this comes together to function for the exchange of various materials. If you have any doubts, please contact on 7439304203 or WhatsApp on 891002567. The numbers are given over here. You can SMS your doubts over here. Thank you.